Hello and welcome. You're watching our weekly review from Addis Media Network. I'm the producer, Addis. And over the week, there were different issues. And some of the issues we can mention are MESOP One-Stop Center, the third regular session of the City Council's fourth year term, and International Intellectual Property Day. Of course, Addis Ababa's infrastructure by different ambassadors. We'll begin from the One-Stop Center. Stay with us.
ጆተን እዚህ ጋር ስህተት ካለው ቼክ ያርጉልን። እኔ ስህተት ሰው ቁጥር
ፓስፖርት ስካን ስላደረግን ቀጥታ ወደ ፊክስ ደረጃ ነው።
MESOP One-Stop Service Center, President Taye Atsqeselase and members of the diplomatic community based in Addis Ababa, heads of international organizations, visited the recently inaugurated MESOP One Center, and that is, of course, One-Stop Service Center. MESOP is a one-stop service center which aims to facilitate service provisions of government institutions through digital technologies, having 12 institutions and 41 service, of course, as a pilot. The center was inaugurated by Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. President Taye Atsqeselase, accompanied by State Ministers of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Hadera Averra, Ambassador Birhanu Tsegay, and members of the diplomatic community visited the center, and this is what they had to say.
አሁን ዛሬ ጀመርነው የመሶብ አገልግሎት 12 ገደማ ተቋማት ከ40 በላይ ሰርቪስ
The MESOP services we have commenced today have 12 institutions with more than 40 services. For instance, if I want to have trade license and come to this place, I can take my digital ID at the same time. There are also banking, telecom and tax payment services. So getting a lot of services at one place is among the priding works countries talk about. The government has taken two measures to solve the services provision problems. The first one is modernizing the Kabali to make it the basic place of service provision. The second one is starting MESOP here with our own system and manpower. This is big news for Ethiopian people because such barriers like theft are solved with systems avoiding the direct engagement of people.
ይሄን እናስፋፋለን የቀሩ ሰርቪሶች እንጨምራለን.
This will be expanded. Remaining services will be added and we will evaluate the result in terms of time saving, facilitating services, easing investment climate, and other gains with a lot of indicators. This system will enhance the satisfaction of the people and minimize theft. I call for people to come and use the services and give their feedback. As modernizing service provision is one of our promises we give our people this year, we are thankful to God for the success.
መንግስታት ተአማኒነትና credibility
The trust and credibility of government is ensured by their service provision. Not only that is among the basic measurements, the center will help to give the deserved service for their citizens as a nation. As I have visited 12 institutions are giving 41 services, and this is huge. We've got what we had been jealous of seeing such things in other countries.
The next session will take us, of course, to the third regular session of the City Council's fourth year term. The Addis Ababa City Council convened for a third regular session of the fourth-year term, concluding a comprehensive two-day review of the city's performance over the past 9 months. In her address, Mayor Addis Ababa underscored the remarkable progress made across multiple development sectors, particularly in corridor development, economic growth, social advancements, project implementation, and enhanced service delivery.
ቴክኖሎጂን ከመጠቀም አንጻር እድሜ ለኮሪደር ልማት ከተማችን ላይ
As a part of our ongoing efforts to improving services, we have taken fully advantage of the technological advancement brought by the corridor development, which has allowed us to upgrade technology-assisted services. Moving forward, we have remained focused and dedicated to enhancing the operation of our one-stop service center, alongside the significant reforms we have made within the government institution to tackle service delivering challenges. We are also placing a strong emphasis on combating the theft and misconduct. The digital transformation of public service has been a cornerstone of our civil service reforms. We have successfully digitalized public procurements, utility payments, and even fuel transformation in the city and the capital. These are not just about modernizing our system. They are essential steps into improving efficiency and providing better service to the people of Addis Ababa.
ዘጠና የሚሆኑ ከወረዳ ጀምሮ እስከ ማዕከል ድረስ ያሉ ኃላፊዎችን ቀጥተናል።
Mayor Addis highlighted that key priorities for the remainder of the fiscal year will focus on reducing dependency, creating job opportunities, completing ongoing projects, enhancing community engagement, and promoting initiatives through media and communication platforms. See Addis Ababa's infrastructure development, and many are witnessing and saying that Addis Ababa really is booming. And one of the ambassadors who spoke over the week is the Danish ambassador to Ethiopia. He praised Addis Ababa's rapid growth infrastructure development in his interview with the Ethiopian news agency. The ambassador soon highlighted Addis Ababa's remarkable transformation, strengthening the vital role of infrastructural investment. Let's take a listen.
Ethiopia is one of the biggest economies on the continent, and is also one of the most populous countries on this continent. So the country is undergoing huge transformations. The first thing I observed when I came back to Ethiopia in August 2024, after having been 3 years abroad, was the many changes here in Addis Ababa. You can really tell that this is a city that is growing fast, and it needs to cater and create opportunities for these people, for the many people that come to Addis Ababa to seek better opportunities in life. This also includes many investments in infrastructure that we are seeing. And I believe that Addis Ababa, like many other big cities on this continent, but also on other continents, there is a huge task with making sure that you invest in infrastructure and that you create economic opportunities and that are sustainable and inclusive.
A country without the youth will be nothing. Empowering the youth is the issue we have at hand. And Labour and Skill Minister Mufriat Kamel emphasized Ethiopia's commitment to skill development and empowerment of youth as essential drivers of economic prosperity.
We believe that by equipping our youth with the skills relevant to emerging technologies, we can significantly contribute to our continent's economic growth. Our motto, skills-led job creation in Ethiopia, encapsulates our commitment to building resilient skills development systems.
Minister of Education, Professor Birhanu Nagga, also said the following regarding this issue.
For us Africans, some of the most important, larger questions that we have to address is, are we going to be caught our pants down in the same way that we did in the past? Or are we going to confront this emerging world with intentionality, with knowing where we want to go, so that we are not continuously going to be behind the rest of the world? Because this world, the way it is changing, it does not just leave us behind, it can consume us if we don't know what we're doing. In Ethiopia, our understanding of how we move forward is premised on a very important understanding of where the world is going. Where the world is going, not only in terms of geopolitics, not only in terms of the nature of the global order, which are all important, but in terms of the way the world is going, in terms of knowledge, in terms of what is important in knowledge.
Dear viewers, you're watching Addis Media Network, and this is our weekly review. And one of the issues lingering over the week, this week especially, is the Patriots Day. And we have a guest, and our guest is a teacher and author, of course, and he loves talking about patriotism. He loves talking about Pan-Africanism. And who will be the guest? We'll be having it next. Stay with us. Dear viewers, you're watching Addis Media Network, and this is our weekly review. One of the issues we're talking, of course, is about patriotism. And joining me now to talk about patriotism is author and teacher. And good to see you, brother.
Nice to see you.
Nice. So can you start introducing yourself?
My name is Glody Sarali. I'm a teacher.
Yes.
I was born in Addis Ababa and have been grown up in Addis Ababa also. So all my life is started in Addis Ababa and still continuing in Addis Ababa. I was in Addis Ababa University for my first degree and for my aim also. I also write. Whenever I have free time, I like to read and also I like to write and also I can consider I am a teacher as well as a writer or an author.
Nice. And I spent some time, actually, a little bit longer. I met you in one of the events, and we were, of course, talking about patriotism. And you even mentioned the idea of being Pan-Africanist as well. And so I could take Glaudius as a teacher, author, and Pan-Africanist as well. And one of the things that I felt we should talk about is patriotism. And this week, one of the issues that we can talk about, and this is because we have the holiday, the public holiday of patriotism. And what do you think is the terms of patriotism? And do you think we really are celebrating being patriots? And how could we be then as a patriot itself?
The most powerful meaning is like loving your country. And loving your country, you need to also devoting yourself for your country, for the national identity. We're not talking about patriotism. People may consider it as like someone who is fighting with the other or a foreign enemies, but it's not that one also. You need to stand for your culture, for your language, for your country's identity, for many things that make people even patriotism. A patriotism also is like, it has a sense of like having or keeping a secret for a long time, especially if it is a secret of your own country. You know that many Ethiopians, they are living in other countries. If they are ready even to keep even their country secret, they also consider us a patriot.
Nice.
So the concept patriotism has a different even dimensions. I do understand that many Ethiopians and also many people, especially children, they may consider us like someone is patriot if he's a warrior or someone who stayed in a war front. That's not even the only concept. So devoting yourself for your country, loving yourself for your loving yourself, at the same loving your country, and also stand for the national item and for cultures and for other countries' identity makes it lead you to be a patriot. That is a definition of patriotism.
Nice. This week, especially this weekend, starting from this week, and Ethiopia is celebrating Patriots Day, and it would be very nice if we can mention mostly patriots and what they did to the country as well. We can go back to the years when the patriots were fighting for their own country as well. And even I mentioned that once you were even talking about the Pan-Africanism and Marcus Garvey and other patriots as well beyond Ethiopia.
Yeah, Ethiopian has a different history from other African countries because we say we were invaded, not colonized. You know, in a colonization there is a concept. If there is a colonization, your language should be changed. and also your educational system should be changed, and also your indigenous cultures, your indigenous foods also should be changed. Coming to the Ethiopian history, we don't say even we were even colonized, but we were invaded. And on the coming Monday, we are coming to even celebrate our Victory Day. And also that was even the second Ethiopian-Ethiopian war. So our patriots, they even played a pivotal role for the independence of Ethiopia.
Right.
That Victory Day, it has also a channel directly related with Adwa victory. Adwa, many people consider it's not even the victory of Ethiopia, it's also the victory of the whole black nations, because after that the consciousness of blacks in the world totally changed. And the people that you mentioned, like Marcus Garvey, W.E. Du Bois, and other philosophers and Pan-Africanists even stood with a different moral because of the Adwa. They always say their standpoint is Adwa. Then Adwa can be considered as even the starting. There are even actually some struggles before that, especially in the United States of America. When we're talking about especially the black history, we can't start from Adwa. Adwa can be even the moral, but before that there was even a slave trade, and also there were many even racism, like demoralizing black peoples, and also colonialism, and transporting blacks from Africa to different parts of Europe and also in the United States of America. Coming to the Ethiopian history, the Adwa and our Victory Day, it opened even unthinkable consciousness in the intellectuals of Africa. And they stand even for the United States of Africa, or helping each other. That their standpoint was Adwa and also the victory of Ethiopia. And our patriots, for example, we can mention even, we have also international patriots. For this we can mention even Addis Ababa. Once he was like in a prison in Italy also. So we don't have only like patriots only in Ethiopia. There are some patriots who can be even examples internationally. So that's why even many Pan-Africanists, when they like to even raise their issues, even when they start even creating EU or OU, African Unions, their emergence started from like Adwa and also from our patriots. And they do believe that Ethiopians warriors or patriots have a great role in the history of blacks. And also they also accept that the Ethiopian victory, both Adwa and also our Victory Day, it gives even a new consciousness. And also many black peoples all over the world even, they opened their doors and also windows, which is already closed. They used to believe that the victory of blacks on the white is unthinkable. But our victories and also Ethiopian patriots opened a new era, I can say, a new era, and also a new mental development, a new psychological backup, not only even for the past, but also for this generation, as well as for the next generation. If you are following some medias in Jamaica, in Caribbean, in the United States of America, even in Europe, still they are talking about that Ethiopian victories and Ethiopian patriots can be considered as the guardians of all the black people in the world. That's why like Ethiopian patriots were invited even for the independence of Korea, as well as even Congo. All over the world, people believe that Ethiopians are honest for their country. If they are honest for their country, they can be also honest for our countries.
So talking about honesty, talking about the patriotism, we mentioned even other people as well. And there's this generation at this time now. And if we could give just something from that one, if there's anything, a lesson to be taken, what lesson can we give them?
A lesson should be taken that I'm sure if After this, I don't expect actually in this globalization time there will be even another invasion. But if there is invasion, I can say not all Ethiopians are stand for their country. But coming to like when we're talking about patriotism and being a hero or heroism for your country, it's not only in the war front, as I said, it's in every direction. For example, I'm a teacher. If I'm teaching without any kind of biasness, racism, without any like selecting students based on their religions, based on their culture, based on their language, I should be concerned as a patriot. Or this is also the concept of patriotism. In the other one, now today we are in the time of TikTok. And also children, they are watching different kinds of movies and they are engaging in the time of globalization, especially I can say media globalization or social media globalization. So they might even not keep even their cultures. If they are standing for their cultures, way of life, like our societal identity, they can be considered as a patriotism. In the other direction, for example, if there is a doctor or a medical doctor, if he's keeping his work for everyone, he's also now considered as a patriot. So the concept of patriotism, it can be even comes with writing, what you write, even in a journalism stuff, in a medical stuff, in teaching a learning process. At every aspect of our life, there is a concept of patriotism, because students may consider, especially the youth generation may consider someone is patriot who was in a war. No, that's not. And also, for example, there is a brain drain. Many intellectuals may even like to go on abroad in some other countries for the better life. But if you are sacrificing yourself in your country, that's also patriotism. So the lesson should be taken as like answering the question, who am I, from what kinds of family I was, and also what is the economy of my country, what was even my society, and what should I contribute, because what life is considering is what you are doing and what you are going to do for your country before you are going to die. That should be the lesson, should be taken by this generation from our forefathers.
Nice. Galadies, one of the things I know for sure about you is having books like this one. This most probably would go beyond 1,200 almost.
1,235
1,200 page. That's a lot in page. And by the way, this book is called Fidel Combination of Words and General Knowledge Archive. And Galadies writes actually different books. And this is one of the books that we feel that people are, of course, in different battles. One of the battles that you are fighting is just contributing whatever you have in mind. And what is the aim of like publishing such a big book for you and for the generation as well? What is this about?
Among the general knowledge that I put in this book is like there is a concept of Ethiopian patriotism also, and also Ethiopian scientists also. You know, I do believe that children should not even learn something only from like TV and other kinds of materials. And also, students should know, or every Ethiopian should know, that the contributions of every Ethiopians. We might even give even the role models or like the big contribution for some finger counted peoples. That's wrong. Coming to in this book, there are different kinds of Ethiopians who were contributing for their country. For example, in the literature stuff, in the medical stuff, in the sport stuff, and different. For example, I can say who is the first modern medical doctor in Ethiopia, or I can say also who is the first goal scorer for Ethiopian national team. These all things should be concerned as patriots. Talking about patriotism, talking about Ethiopianism, is not only about war. It's not only about like famine. So as we all know, like many foreigners like to say something about Ethiopian famines, but when we're talking about this book, especially when we're reading this book, children have the chance even to consider not Ethiopians have many histories and also many heroes and also heroism. For example, you are looking at Tesfa ገብረስላሴ.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm saying that Tesfa ገብረስላሴ is a patriot because he was the one who combined the Ethiopian Amharic alphabet. So we need to go now out of or beyond the war. For example, can you turn the next page?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, like that is Mirus Iftar. You are looking Mirus Iftar and Tirunesh Dibaba. Mirus and Tirunesh have similar histories. Mirus was even the first Ethiopian, as the same as first Africans, who got even 2 gold medals in one Olympic. Isn't he a patriot? He is. Tirunesh is the first African, as the same as the first Ethiopians, who got even 2 medals in one Olympic in Beijing, both in 10,000 and also 5,000. So at every stuff, people should learn that patriotism is not only the concepts of war, but if you go to in science, in literature, in sport, at every direction, whatever you want, that should be considered as even a patriot, especially in this generation. Because this generation, especially children, they need to be out of the war concept. Being general or Grazmach, Kanyazmach, that was even a big history, and also our beloved history, but it had its own time. Now the time is changed. Need to go at every direction. Whatever, you can be even a baker or like a street vendor. You can be patriot if you are like loving and devoting yourself for your country.
So how about the size? This is over 1,000 pages. And do you think it is easy to carry whenever anybody wants to read it? Or are you planning to publish it in different way?
I like to say that not even that much big, because I saw also many books in different libraries which have even a double page of my book. But for this book is not even that much difficult for like students, because I do also now learn students are like spending their time with social medias, even many hours. This is full of knowledge. Once you are turning the page, you cannot even finish it enough. I don't think so. It is that much big. It is big, but there is also many things which is expected beyond this book from us.
So anything you want to tell us about the publishing?
Publishing, I think I'm trying my best even to publish the book, hoping that in the near future all Ethiopians will see even this book. But still I'm struggling, especially in a financial, to publish this book. I have a dream that people may even cooperate with me, anyone who is volunteer or interested. And I'm sure that in the near future we'll see the book will be real and also can be distributed for everyone.
Nice. We'll be mostly covering the events whenever you're publishing this and other books as well.
Sure.
And finally, if you have any message you want to deliver, we're ready.
I really like to encourage even others who are ready even to write books and also to combine general knowledge. We shouldn't go like in other directions to teach even students and about general knowledge. For example, in this book I have like Ayana Bro. He was an engineer in Ethiopia. He was also from Walaga. He was the one who even make Amharic in typewriters. So I just already put Ayana Bro is a big scientist and also one of pivotal scientists in Ethiopia. Why I said it? Which one is better for an Ethiopian? Shall I start from like European scientist or shall I start from like Ethiopian scientist? For example, I said it like Ayana is an Ethiopian. So an Ethiopian child may say it is possible in a scientific world if he can start from his home. And instead of like starting from other. Why? Because why we know even about Edison and some other scientists? Because the Europeans and the Americans, they have medias. Now we have media. We can talk many things about us, about our service, and also about Ethiopian scientists. So every Ethiopians, whenever they talk about education and also science, they can start from their home. So in my book, there are 34 Ethiopian scientists that I consider them, they are worldwide scientists. This shows that this book is coming to show now it is possible at every direction.
Yeah.
This is a message I have.
I really appreciate it. Galojis Lily, it's been a wonderful time talking to you here. And mostly we began from the patriotism. We went, of course, talking about Pan-Africanism as well. And we discussed the writing, and I really appreciate that. And hopefully I'll have you some other time back. And Galojis Lily, author and teacher, I do appreciate that you came and discussed different issues with us.
Okay, thank you very much.
Dear viewers, you've been watching Addis Media Network, and this is our weekly review with me, Brahana Tadlasa, and this does it for this week. I will have you next time. Bye for now.